Right, now we'll discuss other basic terms of and the definition of clinical anatomy. We have got 10 others from 21 to 30. We have already talked a few of them before. And now in this thing we are considered, and we are starting with the word before is necrosis. So necrosis means that it's a local death of a tissue or organ due to irreversible damage to the nucleus. So it's a death of death of tissue. It's an irreversible death, remember that thing as well, and it's due to the damage to the nucleus. And again, another word we have got is degeneration. So what is degeneration? It's a retrogressive change causing deterioration in the structural and functional qualities. So it's a reversible process, but may end in necrosis. Degeneration is kind of, you cannot change it or bring it back. It's kind of similar to the necrosis. And it's also the loss of functions of that part. And now other thing is the gangrene. So what is gangrene? You probably heard of it. It's also a kind of, or you can say it's a form of necrosis or death. The gangrene is also a form of death combined with putrefaction. So death combined with putrefaction, you can say putrefaction. All right, now let's move towards the infarction. So what is infarction? Infarction, again, it's a death. You can also say it's a necrosis or death of a tissue due to sudden obstruction of its arteries of supply, often an end artery. You must have heard of the cardiac infarction. That means that it's the death of that cardiac vessels. So you probably say it's a death of arteries, or you can say that supply any organ, so like similar to the cardiac infarction. And then we move toward the atrophy. So atrophy means that it's a diminution in the size of cells, tissue, organ, or part due to loss of nutrition. So it means it gets smaller, and atrophy. So atrophy, it actually means the diminution in the size of cells, tissue, organ, or it's all due to the loss of nutrition. There's a loss of nutrition, that's why the atrophy occurs. So dystrophy, similar but different, is a diminution in the size due to defective nutrients. So over here, atrophy, loss of nutrients. Over here we have got the defective nutrients. So hypertrophy means increase in the size without any increase in the number of cells. So over here, for example, this is a normal cell, but that normal cell simply increases itself. For example, we've got 1 and 2 cells, and this cells become this big. So this is due to the increase in the size of the cell. It causes the it's also called a hypertrophy. And if in the case of the hyperplasia, which is number 28, hyperplasia is increase in the size due to increase in the number of cells. So hyperplasia actually occurs in the organs, where the organ size actually increases due to the increase in its number. But on the hypertrophy, the cells remain, the number of cells remain same, but the organ size and tissue size increase due to the increase in the size of the cell. And let's move to talk about the I guess we have talked about the hyperplasia, which is due to the size, due to the increase in the number of cells. Now talk about the hypoplasia. Again, it's an incomplete development, or you can say, probably the best definition would be incomplete development in case of the hypoplasia. Again, the last we have, but not the least, it means the aplasia, which means failure of development. There's no development going on in the cell. Failure of development of cell. All right.